For decades, PepsiCo fought one of the hardest battles in global business, a battle against Coca-Cola. The Cola Wars dominated television, supermarkets, restaurants, stadiums, and advertising campaigns around the world. And despite PepsiCo's enormous scale, Coca-Cola remained the dominant force in global soda for decades. In 1995, Coca-Cola held roughly 20% of the U.S. soda market, while Pepsi controlled around 15%. By 2025, Coca-Cola still maintained roughly 19% share, while Pepsi had fallen to around 8%, showing how difficult the soda business had become for PepsiCo. At first glance, this should have been a serious problem. The soda business had become brutally competitive, with slowing growth, constant advertising wars, and consumers increasingly shifting toward alternatives like energy drinks, bottled water, and coffee. But while the world focused on the Cola War, PepsiCo quietly built something else, something that would eventually become one of the most powerful consumer businesses in the world: a snack empire. The turning point came in 1965 when Pepsi-Cola merged with Frito-Lay, instantly giving the company a powerful position in snack foods through brands like Lay's and Fritos. Over the following decades, PepsiCo expanded that portfolio even further with brands like Doritos, Cheetos, Ruffles, and Tostitos. Gradually, these products became deeply embedded into everyday life. Today, PepsiCo products dominate entire sections of snack aisles across supermarkets, gas stations, convenience stores, and stadiums. And as the business evolved, PepsiCo became less dependent on soda and increasingly driven by snacks. By 2025, food and snacks accounted for nearly 60% of PepsiCo's total revenue, while beverages made up only around 40%. And when it came to profits, snacks played an even larger role inside PepsiCo. In North America, PepsiCo's snack business consistently generated operating margins above 25%, and in some years, even approached 30%. Meanwhile, PepsiCo's beverage business often operated with margins closer to 10 to 15%. In other words, PepsiCo's snack business had become dramatically more profitable than the beverage business it originally came from. And this created a surprising reality inside the company. The products attracting the most attention were not necessarily generating the most profits. The drinks built the global visibility. But increasingly, the snacks became the economic engine. And that profitability advantage was not accidental. Snack foods have several characteristics that make them extremely profitable businesses. First, the production costs are relatively low compared to the final selling price. In North America, PepsiCo's snack business often spent only around 35 cents of every dollar of revenue on ingredients, manufacturing, and packaging, far lower than many consumer businesses that can spend well over half of their revenue on production costs. A bag of chips is made from fairly simple ingredients: potatoes, corn, oil, seasoning, and packaging. But consumers are not really paying for raw ingredients. They are paying for flavor, convenience, habit, and emotional attachment to the brand. And that creates pricing power. PepsiCo repeatedly raised prices across many snack products, often faster than inflation itself, and demand still remains surprisingly resilient. Because psychologically, spending slightly more on a bag of Doritos does not feel like a major financial decision for most people. It feels small. And when hundreds of millions of consumers make those small purchases repeatedly, the numbers become enormous. Second, snacking behavior is deeply repetitive. People snack while watching sports, while gaming, while traveling, while studying, while watching movies late at night. These are not occasional purchases. They are recurring habits tied to entertainment, comfort, and routine. That makes the business remarkably resilient, even during weaker economic periods. But the real power of PepsiCo is not simply owning snack brands or beverage brands individually. It is owning both at the same time. Because together, snacks and beverages give PepsiCo enormous negotiating power with retailers. A supermarket negotiating with PepsiCo is not just discussing soda. It is discussing chips, sports drinks, bottled water, dips, convenience foods, and entire sections of snack aisles at the same time. That gives PepsiCo far more leverage than competitors focused on only one category. The company can negotiate for larger shelf space, stronger product placement, promotional campaigns, and broader visibility across stores. And because PepsiCo products sell quickly and generate strong profits for retailers, PepsiCo remains an extremely important partner for many retailers. Over time, this creates a powerful advantage that becomes increasingly difficult for competitors to replicate. A smaller snack company might create a great product. A beverage company might build a strong drink brand. But competing against PepsiCo across multiple categories at the same time is far more difficult. The company already controls enormous shelf space, and it already has one of the largest food and beverage distribution systems in the world. Most people still think of PepsiCo as Coca-Cola's rival. But PepsiCo no longer needs to beat Coca-Cola to win, because over time, they have stopped relying solely on soda. PepsiCo has quietly built a business that extended well beyond cola. Today, the real engine of their business is not just Pepsi. It is the combination of Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, Gatorade, and an enormous retail system that competitors struggle to match. And in the end, PepsiCo's biggest victory was not winning the cola war. It was building a business that evolved far beyond it.